Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, joining us now on the couch is Khethiwe Zulu, who is the author of South African History Retold. She lets us in on how she went about writing this book, plus the board game development behind it. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Jamie.
I mean, what fun coming up with a board game and writing this incredibly interesting book. The South African History Retold. Why did you feel it was an important book to write?
I was tired of being irritated by the renaming of the street names.
Yeah.
I was being inconvenienced on my daily drives because I didn't know who these people were.
Yeah.
As far as I knew, it was just an unnecessary exercise.
And a large cost of money.
And a large cost of money. And I preferred to know the old street names until I decided to turn the irritation into a little bit of knowledge finding.
Yeah.
When I did then find out who the people were, my tone changed considerably.
Really? Who was the most interesting person that you found who had a road name after them?
I think by far Philanda Ndwandwe.
Okay, tell me who's that?
A person who was a dentist, went to University of Westville, had absolutely no business going into politics except the fact that she didn't want to be treated as black people were treated back then. Left a child that was 2 months old, went into the struggle and got killed. And as a mom, things like that, they touch a chord. And I realized that there are stories that needed to be told, the values of selflessness, the values of giving without wanting anything in return, were things that I felt that kids could take away even today.
Wow, this is such an important book for people to read. And of course, there's the board game attached to it. So how do they connect?
The board game is a question and answer game. Yeah. It's based on questions that are taken from the book. Yeah. So it's sort of like a way to test your knowledge. If you've read the book, it's a way to test yourself to see if you remember what is in the book. Yeah. So you navigate the board and land on color-coded spots, and the spots represent what, who, when, and how, and ish questions that are just general knowledge, South African questions.
Who should play it? It's like a family board game.
It's a family board game. I also wanted, like I'm saying, as a mom who has a 4-year-old, I also wanted people to put down their phones. There's too much. There's too much cell phoning.
And this is so interesting. People should really get to know who they're driving on.
Yeah. And it's so easy. It's such an easy read. Like if you page through it, each person is practically 2 paragraphs long.
Amazing.
So I didn't want to write a history book. I wanted to write a reference guide that you could keep in your car. So if you're on a street someday and you're like, who the is that? You could just page through it and find that person. So it's not a book you're going to read from cover to cover. It's a book you're going to engage with regularly.
You know, there's a place in South Africa, I'm not quite sure where it is, called Hot as Hell. I wouldn't mind a street name there.
Kidding. You would deserve a street name there.
Thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for writing this book. I cannot wait to read it, and I'll definitely think twice when I'm driving on particular roads with interesting names. Now, tune in to see all of our guests on the couch one last time after the break.